Welcome back to Drive on KFH Radio. It is Metallica week, but we're going to talk with Charlie Daniels, of course, one of the greats of all time, now 83 years old. He'll be at the Kansas Star Casino coming up here in the month of December. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you guys today. Thank you very much for having me on.
Now, everybody knows of you as a musician, obviously, in your long career in music, but you might be the second best athlete to come out of Wilmington, North Carolina.
I seriously doubt that. I did come out of Wilmington, North Carolina, but I won't lay no claim as to the rest of that statement.
Okay, well, Michael Jordan was pretty good too.
Michael Jordan, absolutely, definitely. I think he kind of takes the cake in that department.
Well, Charlie, Wichita is one of those cities where we have always loved you because you have been here before, back in the day, the Charlie Daniels Golf Tournament. You raised lots and lots of money for the Starkey Institute here in town, and you had great times, and you used to bring in all these other people to play golf. How did you get that together with Mike Oatman?
Well, they just send out the invitations year after year. Mike could get it on, go have a list together, folks that he knew. And as you are in the music business, as long as old Mike and myself were, you get to knowing a lot of people, and you just kind of call them and say, "How would you like to come to Wichita and have some fun, play some golf?" And they were kind enough to come for an awful lot of years. I don't know how many years we did that, but it was quite a few.
Charlie Daniels, our guest in Wichita at the Kansas Star Casino, actually in Mulvane, December the 12th. That's a Thursday night. I, like a lot of people, watched the Ken Burns documentary on country music. It was educational because I wouldn't say country music is at the top of my list, but I learned a lot. I have a deeper appreciation for it now. What were your thoughts on how deeply Ken Burns delved into that? It was a phenomenal documentary.
Well, I have not seen it yet, and there's a reason for that, because I wanted to watch it in sequence, and a lot of the nights that it was playing, I was working. So what I decided to do, rather than watch it out of sync, I've got the whole thing now on disc. So I'm going to take it on vacation and watch it in sequence, so I can kind of get the feel of how it went. But I'm sure he did a great job of it. He always does.
Well, Charlie, you have been in the music business, it seems like, since you were a little bitty kid. But it goes back to Wichita again, which I always think is kind of a great place for country music and has been. And you used to work at a club here quite often, which was called the Hi-Ho Club down there about 47th and South Broadway. What's the difference of playing in those clubs back in the 60s, and then as your band was bigger and bigger and more well-known, all of a sudden you're playing these giant arenas?
Well, it's, there's quite a bit of difference in the way you approach it, but basically the thing has always been to me, regardless of whatever size arena or whatever size crowd you're playing to, my whole thing is to entertain them. Whether it's in a nightclub or outdoors, whatever, it's these people that paid money to see you, you owe them a show. So our whole set, we usually do an hour and a half or so, giving them, whatever, if there's time limits at the venue or something, and we have to abide by them. But left our own devices, we usually play about an hour and a half, and our whole aim in that whole hour and a half is to entertain people, make sure they've had a good time.
We're talking with Charlie Daniels. Again, he'll be at the Kansas Star Casino on December 12th. I'm always curious when we talk to musicians how it kind of got started, where the fire was lit. How old were you when you maybe recognized you had an aptitude for this? And what steps did you take to kind of procure your ability as a musician?
I was actually when I first started playing, I was either late stages 14 or early stages 15. And I learned a couple of chords on the guitar. And from the time I learned my first three chords on the guitar, and I could actually play a song, which you can play a lot of songs with three chords, it's all I ever wanted to do. I never wanted to do anything but play music. So I started taking advantage of every opportunity that came my way. Got to where I was able to get a job playing in beer joints and nightclubs and that sort of thing. And in 1967, I moved to Nashville and, got involved in what goes on around here. And good Lord bless me with a recording contract, and kind of went on from there. That was my first recording contract was in 1971. So I've been at it ever since.
Well, Charlie, speaking about that first recording contract, our producer, Max Thunder here, he wants to ask you a great question about a big song of yours.
Charlie, this has been bugging me since 73. You're in a bar in Jackson, Mississippi. You were trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
5 big dudes came in with a drunk chick and a fella with green teeth. But then you said you didn't
Right.
want to fight him because it was 3 of them and only one of you.
You know, that was just an honest error. Let's just say they were so drunk, 2 of them probably passed out on the floor. I never noticed that until I get very creative when I write, but I don't really get very analytical about, numbers and things like that. So I didn't think about that, but I've had that pointed out before. But there was no semblance. I mean, there's no symbolism involved or anything. It was just an honest mistake I've made. I invented a whole word one time in a song. I wrote a song called Caballo Diablo, which is devil horse in Spanish. And this guy was riding this horse. He actually went out and found him in the wild, got up on him, rode off the side of a mountain. And what I was trying to say was precipice, but I said preface. They wrote off the preface of the mountain. There is no such word. So all these years I've been going around singing a word that doesn't actually exist, but I've been doing it so long I don't change it. So I just leave it. So every night that when I do it over the preface. They go. So, I guess it's called creative license. You can do whatever you want to.
It's like Steve Miller's Pompatus of Love.
Whatever. Is that what he's saying? I didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah, I think that was it. We tried to figure that out a long time. Charlie, also you participated. I'm not sure if you wrote the song or not, but Wichita Jail. And I was wondering, is that because of some of the band members had problems while they were in Wichita?
I wrote the song, and actually it was not one of the band members, but I had a friend that came up to see me from Tulsa one time, and he got picked up and put in. And I went down to try to get him out in the morning. I wasn't able to do it. I don't remember what the causes was for it, but anyway. It was not actually a band member, but it was a friend, definitely.
Charlie Daniels is with us through your association with Mike Oatman and all the times you've appeared in Wichita. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts of the city, and when's the last time you were here?
I don't remember exactly the last time I was in Wichita. We haven't done the golf tournament quite a few years now, but gosh, I just really don't remember the last time I was there. But I mean, I've spent so much time in Wichita. Wichita was like a second home to me. We used to go stay at the Idaho Club for months at a time. So I literally lived in Wichita. I never had a permanent residence there, but I would go stay. I'd stay a lot more time there than I did, in hardly any other place. So it was second home to me for a good little while. So yeah, I mean, I got, I used to have some pretty deep roots in Wichita. Of course, that's all kind of changed now because it's been so many years. But Wichita has been a big part of my life.
Well, that book that you have written, Never Look at an Empty Seat, I tell you, it's a great book. And what a career you've had, over 20 million records, the Grand Ole Opry, the Country Music Hall of Fame. Anything that really sticks out in your career that was just a great highlight over all these years?
There's not a lot. I'll give you one, for instance. 1969, Bob Dylan came to town to do Nashville Skyline, an album, and I won't go through what the mechanics of it were, but I ended up supposed to play on one session and ended up playing the whole album and actually went on to make 3 more albums with Bob Dylan, and that was a big, big step in my career. And one of those wonderful blessings the good Lord puts on you, from time to time. It just something that came out of the blue and was just a huge, huge blessing to me, and it raised my visibility by quite a bit by being on Bob Dylan albums. So those sorts of things that happen, songs coming to me, just pulling a song out of a clear blue sky and making something out of it. And, my life has been one blessing after the other. I have no complaints. I mean, when you say that, people think, well, you just had a real easy time. No, it's not been that at all. I don't think anybody gets anywhere in any business, not just the music business, but any business at all ever has what you could possibly describe as an easy time. But if you love what you do, if you truly love what you do, then the years you put in and whatever struggles you go through and whatever sacrifices you make or whatever are always worth it. So it's always part of the game and part of the fun. So while I would not say it's certainly not been easy, it certainly has been a joy.
Charlie Daniels with us, our final moments. Jack mentioned your memoir, Never Look at the Empty Seats, released a couple of years ago. I know that has a deeper meaning. What made you come up with that title? Tell us a little bit about your overall philosophy of what those words mean to you.
Well, it's another way of saying is the glass half empty, half full? Positive attitude, in that when you're a young musician, if you're serious about it, if you're not serious about it, you shouldn't try it because it'll break your heart. But if you're serious about it and you go out in the world and you put a band together and you start playing, you're going to have some empty seats. Nobody knows who you are. They come to see you out of curiosity, or maybe they've heard one song on the radio they like or something. They come to see you, and it's your job to make them want to come back again. So if you look out in the house and say, well, there's, only got a half house tonight, I'm just going to jam the night away and not get too involved here, it's a big, big mistake. Every night when you go on stage, as far as you're concerned, the house is full. And then next time you come back to town, if you entertain people, and that's the key word, entertain. If you entertain people, the next time you come back to town, they're more than likely to come see you again and bring somebody else with them. So you don't pay any attention to the empty seats. Don't look at them. Treat them all like they're full. Go entertain like you got a full house every night.
Great advice from the one and only Charlie Daniels. He'll be at the Kansas Star Casino coming up Thursday, December 12th. We've been fortunate to have a few minutes with him here. Charlie, thank you for being with us,
you,
and we
guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
You as well. Thank you, Charlie.
All right. Bye-bye.